I got a bit of a sore mouth. That fucking bitch down at Q1, I think she had some ganglionitis of the vagina. And my tongue is is that a cancerous growth? I don't know, but anyhow. You know, these old ones, you never know what you get there. They look all conservative and that, look clean. They don't smell of, you know, the best thing you should do is if they smell a bit cheesy, it could be a yeast infection. Best advice ever told to me, Cambo in Thailand told me if they smell a bit cheesy, stay away, because unless you're using rubbers, you can get a yeast infection of the prick. You know, this is the whole thing, yeast infection. Speaking of yeast infection, that Clive, he's a yeast infection that I'd use spermicide to get rid of, you know. I tell you what, that guy really gives me the shites, you know. And he thinks he's so cool with his 41 mil OP, man. You're a dick! But, you know, you can't say that on air. You gotta be PC. You know, lack of class, and I gotta tell you, man, it's just gives me the shiters. The absolute shites. But Blue Shirt's been good. He's been a good guy. Been bringing in the bucks. Where is that Pommy guy? Where is that Pommy guy, James? Showcase watchers. Where the hell is that loser guy? Get your ass on here now, Sambo. I gotta tell you, man, I'm not really happy. Not happy. Anyhow, guys, it's all crazy. Man, I gotta get into the zone. Be positive, be PC, no swearing. I gotta go there. I gotta be friends with that Clyve. Okay, guys, we're gonna go live. Live. Let's go live. Let's get this baby out of the ass. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Live with the party. Guys, you're live. And how is your morning today? How are you guys today? I gotta tell you, these carpet beetles, you know what those little bastards do? You see these little moths? Those are the adult carpet beetle. They are bastards. They're trying to eat my carpet. I got the wool carpet in the study, and I am sick of it, man. I am absolutely sick and tired of this mess. Absolutely, positively sick and tired of this mess. So I gotta tell you, man, I gotta go, bomb. Gotta go, bomb. Let's see if I can get some guys on here. Where's that Blue Shirt? Come on, Blue Shirt, man, we need you. We really need you. We enjoy your company. It's all cool. It's all good. These damn moths! These carpet beetle moths, you know, are giving me the shite. You know that? They're just nasty. Nasty critters! That's what they are. I got the Blue Shirt. Get the Blue Shirt on. Get the Blue Shirt. I'm wearing pink today, guys. Guys, I'm wearing my Patek Philippe 5196 today. Surprise, surprise. So, it's good to be on the show. We're live. We're broadcasting. Come on, guys. Let's fire up those super chats. Let's get those babies on. Where is Tan, Zing? They're all not here. Hisham. I don't know what's going on, guys. There's just not many super chats. We got to get these babies happening, man. That's what we need to do. We got to get this stuff underway. So let's go out there, guys. Come on. Rub the mug. Come on, Clyvey. Come on. Come on, Clive. Sending you love. I gotta tell you, man, very hard without the super chats. What the hell is going on, man? If there's no super chats, I won't be doing this for long, that's for sure. My God, just $1. Send $1. What's going on, guys? I don't know. I don't know. Ving can't really can't stand him anymore. Well, that's great. I made him famous, and I really can't stand him either. Jesus, I'm here for the money! Come on, let's do super chats. Here we go, we got Blue Shirt. Thank God! Blue Shirt to the rescue. Hello, Blue Shirt. How are you?
I'm good, Pontiff. How are you?
Not so good, not so good, not so good. Carpet beetles, they're turning into moths because it's springtime. They were all hibernating from the carpet. You see these little insects flying around. They're carpet beetles. That's what they are. That's the adult carpet beetle that's out to...
Super chat.
Fellow Riser, $2. This is for the carpet moths to help them develop. You know, something interesting is inside the house where I put the synthetic carpet, I don't seem to have a problem.
There you go. There you go. You're finding out what the rest of the free world knew for decades. Super chat.
Poita Kominowski, £2. Do you know who killed Laura Palmer? That was on Twin Peaks, wasn't it?
I have no idea.
No idea. No
Yeah.
idea. No idea. How are you, man? What's going on? Talk to me. What's happening?
Not too much. Not too much. Same old, same old.
I wanted to talk to you about something, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Breitling. Do you like Breitling or not? Are you a Breitling man?
I like Breitling. I like the 756, the Breitling Type 20 reissue.
Okay, let me show you. Okay,
it's a very nice watch.
Trendy, cool ones. I'm bringing up on the screen here. This is Vintage Watch Co.
Vintage Watch Co.
What do you think of this? So this is in Aussie dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You get a discount as well there. So it's 11.6 Aussie.
Mm-hmm. What's that in mark and dollars?
7 or 8.
All right.
11.6 Aussie into US. I'm just working it out now. It's 82, so you probably get it for 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? 7.5 American.
Yeah, that's a nice
solid gold.
That's a nice chronograph. What's the size?
It's a pretty big size, 43.
Mm.
And it's box papers. Look at this.
Super chat.
Super chat. Dong Johnson, thank you. I'd like to see Nancy Pelosi taking the pontiff. I got to tell you, there was a very cheeky photo circulating of Nancy Pelosi. I think she's cool. I'd like to give her a squirt.
You know what I really liked?
What's that?
I really liked that White Dial Super Ocean 2 that you had. You really screwed up selling that.
Ah, that was crazy, man. Joe's Money. Okay, let's have a look there. Okay, Joe's Money, $2. Nice paid review on the white gold Daytona. Ripped him a new one. That's crazy. The guy writes to me, right? He doesn't tell me the model number. He just says he's got a white gold Daytona with a blue dial. Was it at racing dial? Is it? I assumed it was sort of a later stick in, you know, that bluey dial.
Right.
He didn't give me any information. And I got to tell you, when someone says, what do I think the investment potential is, I'm thinking, man, you shouldn't be putting investment money into watches, should you?
Correct. No, absolutely not. Watches aren't investments.
And I said to him, I said, look, if you're buying Rolex, look, basically, there was a Tom Bolt video, okay? and he said it's Patek. He said basically for investments, it's Patek or Rolex. Okay. Now Patek itself, the dress one's a little bit soft, but what you've got to understand is they are rising. The only reason I couldn't really sell my Patek is I don't ship overseas, and we're stuck in. There's no state flights. I'm stuck in Brisbane. There's not that many people in Brisbane who sort of can afford it or understand what it is. So you've got to. It's a very tough kind of thing. But in all honesty, Patek and Rolex is where if you're not sure, and what you got to do is it all depends. What do you buy it for? If you pay a massive premium, it's going to be very hard to get a return on your investment.
Absolutely. For sure.
Mind you, I think this is the whole thing. He didn't give me any information. I mean, I can't make a decision if you give me absolutely no information. David SW. I tell you what, he's got some good stuff. Just having a look here, I just want to show you Vintage Watch Co. quickly. Okay, this is their new stuff. Let's have a look. That IWC Portuguese annual calendar. What's that? 13,000 US. Okay. What else have they got here? That's interesting. Look at this. The Batman's on hold straight away. Look at that.
Of course.
That's just power of Rolex.
That's
interesting
correct.
Seiko diver, but. Look at this. This is a bit high. The Jules Audemars 21A. That's like 14. I mean, man, that's
a classic dress watch.
It's a classic, but it's never gonna. You don't buy that in AP. AP
No, you don't.
Is Royal Oaks. That's what it is. It's Royal Oaks. It's not. That's Patek's Calatrava genre. I don't think that'd sell. But it is a beautiful watch. It is. Absolutely. Super chat. Andy Man, $2 panel. Which watch will you take to the grave? Very good question. Very, very good question. See, I hope to die at the age of about 95 in a threesome in Thailand. Okay. Okay. I have a heart attack in the saddle. In the saddle, and I want to die after you're having the cuddle afterwards. That would be the best way, because that's just a fantastic feeling.
Okay, but what's on your wrist when this happens? Okay, that's what he wants to know.
You know what? I'd love it to be a Rolex Explorer 1 39mm.
There you go. So I was going to say it depends. Is it something that's in your collection now, or what you hope to have in the future before your time is done?
Well, in my case, I hope to have. Hello, dog trainer. How are you?
Your Highness and blue shirt Buddha.
Yeah, it's very hard at the moment, Marky.
Well, let's get the rancher on. He loves you so much he can't stand to not be here. So I think we're gonna get him on here now. And he's great at raising the money. The rancher can raise the money,
the rancher.
We're giving this an extra, little kind of a,
Yeah. I love the rancher.
And he loves you. He calls me every night and says to me, because I get busy. There he is.
Yeah. Hello, rancher.
Hello. He calls me every night, Archie, and he says, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he calls me every night around 6:15, and I'm like,
because Mark has a varied and active social life. Oh wait, sorry, I need to change my avatar real quick. Hold on, 1 second.
What's he gonna do?
There we go.
Whoa, look, Rolex you owned for like 5 minutes. So what happens is I have social
super chat.
Here we go. Stan the Man, $2. Your Patek looked like it belonged in the rose.
You know what your Patek did? You didn't, but definitely your Patek did. Anyway,
Did you like that footage or not? I got thrown out of the dealership after that. What are you doing? Are you buying or are you just sitting? I was sick of middle-aged men who come in there want to sit in their dream car.
Do you got to use synthetic oil in that, or can I just use 10WD-30? So anyway, Clyde calls me every night.
By the way, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you the most beautiful car I've ever seen in my life.
Is it purple?
Mm.
It's called an Oldsmobile. You know Oldsmobile?
I do.
Yeah.
You know
Similar
what
to
an
a Buick.
Oldsmobile is? They
Yeah.
were slightly less prestigious than Buick.
It's like your grandfather's car. Then.
A little bit better, but a little bit better than Pontiac.
Sorry?
You know what Pontiac stands for, right?
No.
I can't say it. No.
Okay. I got to tell you something, man. They had a model called the Oldsmobile 98 Regency Tiffany. Have you ever heard of that?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I don't.
I'm
What
just
is-
reading your text.
Well, you didn't.
Okay.
Come on,
We got
Clyde, share.
clean, we got super chats. Look at this. This is the 72 Oldsmobile 98 Regency.
Now that's when gas was like 35 cents a gallon here
Correct.
in the U.S. Yeah.
What
Right,
do you
and that
think of
thing
that?
probably had like 160 horsepower engine.
You'd get about 80,000 miles out of them, and then they were
250,
dead.
Okay?
Yeah.
Mm.
They were a great, and it had, the thing I love most about it had lounge suites, the pillow top seats.
They're fancy pantsy.
I see.
It's got the Tiffany watch in it, the Tiffany & Co. watch.
Mm.
It's quite a substantial car.
Yeah, those cars were about 22 feet long. They got about
Right.
8 miles to the gallon. They had a carburetor, which meant when they got a little bit older, you could flood it, and you needed to stick a pencil in the butterfly valve.
Right.
I mean,
and the engine took about a quarter of the space up front under the hood.
And they were so powerful you could use them to haul stock trailers. Oh, wait, is that how you know about it?
well,
I
that's
just think it's one of the most beautiful cars I've ever seen.
that was an Oklahoma thing, Clyde.
Oldsmobile. Did you ever like the Oldsmobile?
There's a special kind of feel in an Oldsmobile.
That's right.
That sounds dirty to me. If you want to know the
It
truth.
does. Well, everything sounds dirty to you, Mark.
Well, you said it. That's my social life, Clyde. Now that
This
was
is the
back when
1973 Oldsmobile 98 Regency. Walter Hoffing, chairman of Tiffany, says it's a car for people with good design judgment. Maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't. But if you're going to invest $5,000 or more in a luxury car, shouldn't you at least come in and see?
that was a lot because
$5,000! Keep having your $5,000!
I mean, you could get a house for about 10. So, yeah, you could get a nice house for 25. And I'm talking about like in Philadelphia, somewhere developed, and I'm not talking about
The
Oklahoma.
Boondocks.
Yes, I'm not talking about Brisbane.
So that was an expensive car in the day?
Oh yes, indeed.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap.
$5,000 in 1973 was an enormous amount of money.
You reckon?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I was.
for sure.
It's the Clyde stream.
Yes. It's what Clive really thinks about this show.
Clyde's got a remarkable prostate for his age bracket. I could say that from personal experience. Super chat.
Super chat! Andy Man panel, what's the best thing about this hobby?
Death. When it's finally over, the sweet release of death. That's the best thing.
Sweet release of death.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's either that or the wonderful people that you get to know.
5,000 in 1973 is worth 29,000 today.
That's right. Except for, but also the times were different. That doesn't really take into account the fact that most people make more than $29,000 a year now, but the minimum wage in 1973 was like, $1.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was 5,000 out. Clyde, how can you keep going? Damn. What'd you drink?
He hydrated before the show.
I guess.
I gotta tell you, man, seriously. Your father had a Buick. Your grandfather had a Buick. They were more prestigious than an Oldsmobile.
You know what? The Buick, he always had a big, long, enormous black
What
Buick.
model was it? What model Buick?
You know, that's a really good question. It was like whatever their big, giant sedan was. And the reason I think he had the Buick on
What year are we talking? 1973?
No, in the...
Mark, have you ever had a big, long, enormous black...
Sorry, what year?
Like 65, 66. Yes, Clyde. Yes, I have.
2-door or 4-door?
4-door.
Electra? Buick Electra?
Yeah, sounds good.
Have like this?
Yeah, there you go. Except for make it black. Whatever their top of the line vehicle was, and I think the reason he had that on retrospect was it was less flashy than a Cadillac. It was more tasteful, that Cadillac.
Yep.
How about like this black thing here? Does that look like it?
Well, that looks kind of sporty. I don't think his was sporty. His was more like businessman.
Successful businessman.
Yeah, wasn't sporty. Not so much.
Not so much muscle car.
No, not at all.
No, none of these cars had muscle.
No?
If you stepped on the gas, if you floored it, though, I'll tell you what, these cars would slowly gather. They were like a freight train,
right?
And they really could scream down the road. But
is that the sort of Buick there? 65 Buick?
Yeah, it looks fine, except for that. Again, I don't know. We'd have to research. What are Show me all the. No, that's a 2-door coupe.
2-door coupe.
Yeah.
Coupes are cool, but you know that they're very cool.
Yes, but he was hauling around grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
come with it?
In this era, by the way, seatbelts were like optional. There were no belts that went across the chest, and kids often piled up on the back ledge of the rear windshield and just like kind of lay there.
Jeez, it's so unsafe.
Yeah, and front,
there were no rules back then.
Zero. And the front was a bench seat. It wasn't bucket seats. It was a bench seat. And technically, you were only allowed to have 3 people in the front, but often you'd put 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Right. If you had a lot of friends and family, there'd be like 4 or 5 people in the front. Listen, when I was in high school, When I was in high school, I had a 1965 Ford Country Squire sedan station wagon.
Sorry, say that again. 1960. I love this. This is so cool. 1965.
Please don't show it. If you show it, I'm going to have flashbacks. Like I have
Ford Country
Squire sedan
station wagon.
This will give me brown. I had the light brown. I didn't have the tan. I had the light brown, and it will give me. This
here? Is this what it looked like?
Fuck.
Is that it with the wood on the side?
No, I didn't have the wood paneling. That was it without the wood, and like.
Did you like it? Was it cool?
It was horrible. It was fucking horrible. First of all,
say that?
Okay,
you could haul dogs in it.
Well, I was 16. I didn't have anything to haul. First of all,
your lassie dog.
When you drove, that's true. But when you drove down the road, you could actually watch the gas gauge needle dropping. Literally, you could see it moving. I mean, as the speedometer went up, you could see the gas gauge like moving down. It had a
Yeah, but who cared? Gas was 30 cents.
You had the red interior? Did you have the red interior?
I had a light beige interior. Just don't make me wait. Okay, stop. Look. Blow up that steering wheel. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Can you see that steering wheel? Just make that bigger. Can you do that?
That's all I can.
Okay, well, hold on.
Make it bigger for Mark.
Do you see that semicircle metal ring in the bottom of the steering wheel?
That was the horn.
Yes.
That was the horn. That's right,
yes.
Mike. That was the horn.
Horns.
Well, listen, that car fiked me every which way possible. It did a lot of terrible things. And one time I was driving, and that horn fell off in my lap. But I almost had a heart attack because I thought it was the whole fucking steering wheel.
Super chat.
Joe's money. Brad Pitt couldn't get laid in that turd of a car.
Joe Money, you are so right. You are so right, Joe Money. It's a wonder that I didn't wear my... It's a wonder that I didn't get calluses.
Who bought this car for you? Who bought this car?
My mother's fiance, who became my stepfather, had it as an extra work car that he's going to get rid of. So he just gave it to me. And let me tell you, it was horrible.
What year was this?
65. Well, no. The year that I'm talking about right now was 75. But at that point, it was a 65.
Well,
which
yeah.
So it was 10 years old.
Yeah, well, you know, a 10-year-old car now is like new. Back then, a 10-year-old car was a cube. They never lasted that long.
Right.
They never lasted that long.
No, American cars never lasted 100,000 miles, and they were 100 because they were designed to work for 100,000 miles and then break. That's what they did.
You're joking.
No, I am not. Yeah.
What? Who told you this?
The experience. Trust me. American cars in that era lasted 100,000 miles, and that was the end of them. If you wanted to get anything out of them, you had to trade them in with about 60,000 miles, because then it still had a little bit of life on it. You know,
I see. How
but
many
at any rate,
miles did you have on yours?
Oh, I don't know, like too many. Eventually, we had to take it out back and shoot it. But listen, it had a light when you started that car. It had a light on that dashboard, right behind that steering wheel, to the left of the steering wheel. It had a little blue light, and when you started it, if it was winter or even as long as it wasn't summer, when you started the car, that blue light would light up, and it said cold. Okay, it just said the word cold, and it lit up blue. And here's the thing. You had to sit there in that car until that light went out. And if you tried to drive it before that, it would stall. But I was in high school, so I was usually jumping into that car with like 10 seconds to spare, you know, to get to school. So you could sit there for like 15 minutes. So normally what I would do is I would throw it in neutral. Okay. I would rev the engine really high and then throw it into reverse. And if I was lucky, it would just go barreling backwards, you know, out the driveway. If I was unlucky, it stalled and flooded, and then I would have to open the hood and stick the pencil in the butterfly valve to get it going. A disaster.
Mark, when you first got this car, how disappointed were you that your stepdad didn't give you a Woody instead?
No, I was very lucky to be given a car at 16. I mean, come on.
Like, what was your dad doing then? What happened to your dad?
My dad and my parents got divorced, and my dad had moved out of state, and he was.
How old were you when your dad and your mum got divorced?
9.
And what made them get divorced?
They just didn't like each other very much. You know?
Well, Archie, what car did your parents give you when you first turned 16?
Steve, I never got lucky in that car. Rumble
we don't get given cars in my country.
And listen, in that car,
no. They do.
Whoa.
Cars are expensive. Cars were expensive. You don't give a car.
I one time crammed 17 people into that vehicle. 17.
Nice.
You could put the max you could get in there was about 17 if you squished them. In what we called the way back, the floor literally opened up, and there were 2 jump seats that faced each other. You could put 4 or 5 people on those.
So tell me this, Marky. Your dad, he was a Mercedes man, wasn't he?
Eventually, he became a Mercedes man. Back in that era, or in the 60s, he was lucky to have himself a 63 Volkswagen Beetle.
When did he leave Taylor Locks?
In the late 67. And he started his own thing. He became very successful, and then
What was he doing? What business did he go into?
Locks. What else? That's what he knew.
Oh, he went into locks himself.
Yes, I think we're boring the crap out. We're boring the fight.
He started importing locks from China.
Well, not China.
And undercut your grandfather.
something a little bit like that. We should move along though. Now let's talk about Clyde's first car. He probably still has
the Pontiac. He had the Pontiac.
What kind of Pontiac?
Trans Am.
Yeah, you
Thunderbird.
Wow.
Actually, no. That wasn't the first.
No.
That wasn't the first car.
No.
So tell me this, Marky, Taylor Locks.
This is not interesting.
What did your stepfather do for a job?
Mark Goldberg, this is your life.
He owned a glue factory. he made glue.
For what?
For crafts and industrial purpose uses.
What did he make the glue out of?
Chemicals.
Was it any good?
The glue, yeah, it was good glue.
Did you work as a glue salesman?
He made some good ass glue. No, I never worked as a glue guy.
What did they make glue out of?
Horses.
That was yes, at the turn of the century they make glue out of horses, but these days they make it out of chemicals.
Oh, I was going to say minotaurs. I was hoping you missed.
So this is an interesting story here. So your dad, when he got divorced, he left Taylor Locks. Then is that right?
How is this interesting?
I'm just trying
Blue
to
shirt. Listen, Blue Shirt fell asleep about 15 minutes ago.
Run the Shrink. How good was the glue? Very good.
I mean, I never sniffed any of it, so I couldn't tell you how good it was.
So in America, cars would last 100,000.
They didn't last long. Yeah, they didn't last long, especially if you put a lot of mileage on them. They were the quality was lacking.
And they didn't last long if you didn't put a lot of them.
That's true too. And by the way, this is why when the first Japanese cars started to come over here, they came at a time when gas was dear, and they sipped gas. But then it turned out that they lasted forever. So Americans really fell in love with Japanese cars due to the reliability factor.
Super chat.
Stan the Man, $2. Let's talk about Clyves' fantastic OP41 Green Rancher. This is your life.
It's a great watch. People want it.
Great watch.
You like it?
Yeah. Yep.
You really like it?
I really, really like it.
Are you sleeping in it?
No, but I put it to bed every night, though. I'll put it that way.
Here we go.
Super
Stan the Man. Ryan Woodman. Woody, New Yorker. Good questions, Art. Can you host presidential debate? Yes, sir.
You can just leave that avatar up, and everyone can look at it. I'm sure everyone will be fine with that one.
I got to tell you, so American cars, they weren't actually ever very good. They lasted 100,000 miles.
Yeah, you know what? It was the Japanese who really forced American car manufacturers to get their shite together. And
what was
they
the
did.
best period for American cars? When were they
good?
You
did have some wonderful muscle cars in the late 60s, and the design work was amazing in the late 50s. You had all those fins. Those were beautiful. We had a turquoise something with fins. I don't remember what.
Oh, I see. Got you.
Before the shite hit the fan.
Yeah. But your grandfather was a Buick man.
He was indeed. Yeah.
And very serious. That's the guy with the tie on, wasn't he? He looks like a paddock sort of guy, doesn't he?
Super chat.
I don't know what he had.
Here we go. Run the Shrink, $2. AC3. Keep asking questions. ha ha.
We have plumbed the depths. Some people are receiving their copies of The Art of Training Your Dog.
Nice.
You stayed in good touch with your dad, but didn't you?
With my dad, of course, he's still living. Thank God, and of course, my dad.
Your mum's alive too, isn't she?
They both are, thankfully. Yeah.
You know, Mark, I have to say, but having received a copy, I think it is so good. You could almost say that it's like the green OP41 of dog training books.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's that good.
It's that good. I should sell mine.
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
What are you going to buy for yourself to celebrate the book, Mark?
I just bought a gold Submariner. I think
that's probably it.
That's probably it.
He could take a hiatus for a little while.
But if it becomes a bestseller, maybe I'll throw in for a Daytona.
There you go.
Precious metal.
Yeah. No, steel. Steel is the precious metal in the Daytona. Steel is your precious metal.
Right. Sam Losco, horse bones were used to make glue.
They were. And actually hooves were used to make gelatin. Jello.
So if Archie eats Jello, technically is a cannibalist.
That's true. Well, I mean, if it's Minotaur hooves, it could be, cow hooves, horse hooves, ox hooves, pig hooves, goat hooves, camel hooves.
Did you ever want to go into the lock business, Mark?
I did. I did do for a while.
You did? What were you doing?
Didn't love it. Well, I worked summers when I was a kid. I worked summers at the factory, toting bales and pulling barges. It was very hard work.
How many staff do they have?
Oh, I don't know, about 150.
Well, that was a serious concern.
Yeah, yes, it was. Indeed.
How did so you're talking about locks as like canals, right?
Yes, exactly.
No, he's talking locks as in padlock.
I was talking Locke as in John Locke, the philosopher.
Okay. See, I was thinking like when you were working at the locks on the canal. Did you pull the boats by like crane, or did you like use like large cloven animals?
Bovine is not a word. I think you mean bovine.
Back to locks, better than cars. That's. I gotta tell you, man. Seriously, I gotta tell you, man. It's fascinating.
Really?
I do love my cars. I love cars. I love watches.
Gay men.
Gay men.
Yeah.
Speaking of gay men, I still remember I was like 18 years old, and I worked my first summer after my freshman year of college. I worked my first summer, like in the basement of that factory running machinery that it was boiling hot. I mean, it was a miserable job, but nonetheless, it was a way to learn a little bit about the business. So the foreman who remembered me from when I was a little kid, he came up to me. Mike D'Angelo comes up to me and he goes, "Jesus Christ, how the fuck old are you now?" And I was like, "I'm 18. He goes, 18. I remember your grandfather used to push you around on the conveyor belts in the boxes. We were like 6, 18. He looks at me. He goes, 18. And he starts working himself up into a tizzy. He gets angry. He looks at me. He's angry. And I'm like, "What?" He goes, 18. 8 fucking teen. And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I'll tell you what. All the hairy gas you want. All the hairy gas you want. Me, I'm married. You're 8 fucking teen. All the hairy gas you want." And it took me like 15 minutes to figure out what was hairy gas. And when I understood what he had been saying to me, I was like, I was heaved out for the rest of my shift. Ugh. It's disgusting.
What happened to those manufacturing jobs?
Oh, well, the Rust Belt came in. Eventually, the Rust Belt hit everything. It was just got too expensive to manufacture.
Mr. C.
$1.
$1, Mr. C.
Anyway, Harry Gash. Sounds like a good name, for a comedian. Hey, everybody, Harry Gash here.
And what happened to him? Have you ever seen him lately or what?
No, I have no idea.
Probably dead. Would be my guess.
Well, no, let's see. How old would he be? He'd be, probably. He'd be about 90. He'd be about 90 now.
Yeah.
Amazing story. I got to tell you that. Amazing story. It's
Rich Buddy says Mr. C says that was worth $1. $1. He's not wrong.
Taylor Locks. Taylor. That's Taylor. Is that right? Taylor Locks?
Yeah, look it up.
How do I spell it?
You just spelled it.
No, why isn't your avatar the new book?
I haven't gotten around to taking a picture of it. I don't. All right. Let me see what I can do. Give me a minute.
You want to rub the mug while you're doing it?
No, I do not.
Fuck.
I know. All right, hold on. I'll see what I can do here.
Any safe crackers in the family?
Yeah, also.
Yeah.
Actually, I published a bunch of books on safe cracking. A bunch.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
When was this?
In the 90s.
What, you published a whole lot of books on what?
Safe cracking. Actually, they were called Safe Cracking, volumes 1 through 5.
Okay. That's great, guys. We're going to wrap this baby up. I want to thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you for talking to us. We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Same place, same channel. I love yous all. Stay clean!